And we are back at Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California for the women's semifinals featuring our world champion, Ashleen Reilly, up against Tracy Davis here.
Also a world champion.
It's also a world champion.
Both current world champions, Dave. Tracy Davis won the one-wall small ball singles and doubles world championships, Dave. Unfortunately, not a lot of credit being given to those great one-wall players. And there's a number of reasons for that, which we may even get into here in this match.
I believe they're getting a lot of credit. I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't see what you're talking about.
So,
but as we look at this lineup here, it is Ashleen Reilly making that return trip to America after losing last year in the finals versus Megan Michaelis. Here's what's really strange here, Dave, and I wanted to bring this up to you. This match was, or this court was open at 2:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it was dead until about 2:30 or 3:30. Now the start of this game is supposed to be at 3:30, and here we are at 3:40, and we're still just hitting the ball and warming up. I don't understand why referees and the players aren't currently playing right now. We have a 10-minute wait after we already had an hour wait.
Well, it's one of those things that you're really hung up on, Dave, and I don't begrudge you for it. We all have our neuroses. You're very concerned about these matches starting right on time, and you know, in some ways I can see your point, but in other ways I say, you know what, this is handball.
And you know what, 45-minute wait.
I mean, some people like to wear extra small shirts when maybe they're a medium. It's just the way they are.
That is neurotic, actually. But I guess, you know, sitting here waiting for this broadcast to start at 2:45 p.m., I thought that maybe they might put the ladies on a little bit earlier. Decided not to do that. They decided to just let it sit out for the 45 minutes. 45 minutes goes by, and here we are 11 minutes late.
But had they not taken that 45-minute break, how would you have been able to round up that campfire joke-telling session that you had? I mean, you had, what, about 15 people in a circle just salivating, waiting for the next word.
I got everybody to laugh except for Isdro Garcia.
Well, that's a failure then.
Yes.
If you can't get everyone, it counts as a 0.
That's how I'm looking at it, and it's frustrating. You see that our referee is Luis Cordova, and now I realize the reason why this was late to get off.
All right.
Luis had to comb his hair, and that takes 12 minutes. 0-0 women's semifinals with Tracy Davis going up against our world champion, Ashleen Reilly, who spells her name A-S-A-I-S-L-I-N-G. No A-I-S-H like you put, Dave. There's no H in her name.
I felt that it was wrong when I was writing it, and I knew it was the A-I. I just thought for some reason there was an H because it's pronounced with an H.
Yeah.
Right? It's not Ashling.
No,
it's Ashling.
Right.
But there's the H is
silent, not there.
Well,
missing.
It's not silent, but it's not
presumed.
there.
It's just a presumed H.
Okay.
But it's sort of a Gaelic interpretation of the word Ashley. But it's Ashling.
2-0.
Well, Ashling, Dave, has an IQ of over 150. Now, she won't actually tell us how much above 150 it is. That's speculation, Dave. But having spoken to her, I'd have to think it's at least in the 170s.
That might be some of the highest recorded ever. I think if your IQ was higher, you would have known that.
I talked to Ashling, Dave, during the delay here, getting the court ready. And
you're ready for what? They'll turn the lights on?
Well, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Fortunately, you're not really giving me that opportunity. But in any event, in speaking to her, Dave, she said, you know what, I'm really tired here. You know, I got here late Tuesday night, and I'm trying to recover,
second serve,
you know, from the World Championships where she won the singles and lost in the finals of the doubles, not only mentally trying to recover from that, but also physically. But she said, you know, I went to the amusement park, which, Dave, I think you and I both know is more tiring than playing 4 handball matches.
We also know that we don't call it an amusement park. We just call it either California Adventure or Disneyland. But
well,
amusement parks kind of a term that was used in the 70s. Oh, wait, we're talking about someone from Ireland, so you're probably right.
2 serves 2.
Well, happened to get lost around Disneyland last night. I saw a lot of signs that said amusement park.
Yeah, it's just not a term we use here in America. So,
well, the signs on the street do.
Well, Pittsburgh isn't part of America, is it? It's in Canada.
Like I was saying, I was lost here in Santa Ana last night.
Second serve.
The deuces are wild on the scoreboard. It's a huge setup for Tracy Davis, who puts it down perfectly.
Well, you know, Dave, talking to Tracy and some of her sparring partners, this is a lady, Dave, that trains virtually every day. If she's not on the handball court, she's running in mountains. Some days she's doing both. But, Dave, she's not one of these players that'll just go and play a match. She'll literally play for 5 or 6 hours straight, and she's not tired. She's taking on the A players in Tucson, the men.
Actually, we played recently in Tucson. I went down before the World Championships, and we played a game, and it wasn't favorable for Tracy, but she said at the game end, I'm never playing this game again. I'm so frustrated. I've heard her say that before. 15 minutes later, I saw her on a side court playing somebody else. We hung out, we talked, we played some liar's dice. 2 hours later, after she's already played 11 matches, she's still in the court playing some of the younger kids. For somebody who is frustrated with the game and doesn't ever want to play it again, she's in there playing every single day.
5 serves 2.
Well, she's off to a great start here, Dave. And just looking at Tracy, Dave, going into the court here today, she has the eye of the tiger. I mean, this is someone, Dave, that's never content, no matter how many titles she wins. You see a lot of people, Dave, win a big title and then become maybe a little bit complacent. She's not complacent even 5 days after winning 2 world championships. And right now, Dave, she's imposing her power and her game on Aisling Reilly, who looks really sluggish right now.
6 serves 2.
Well, this is not the ball that Aisling Reilly is used to. They're playing with the USHA 21, men's 21 ball here. This is the men's ball that you and I played that's very fast. I would say that Aisling has never played with this ball before.
Well, Dave, I believe Tracy has to have a lot of confidence coming into this match. She played Fiona Shannon in the semifinals at the World Championships, Dave, and had a really nice run to end that second game. She was down 18-7 and scored 8 consecutive points, had a very good chance to score even more, and just came up short.
Aisling Reilly made a great shot there a couple shots back.
Second serve.
That's going to go all the way to the front wall. See what Tracy does here. She does a little soft push, but not enough to get a point. And Aisling Reilly makes a terrible mistake there with her hands, and now a
7 serves 3.
A serve now from Tracy Davis at 7-3 here in the tiebreaker. Excuse me, in the semifinals of the first game.
Second serve.
Aisling, Dave, is playing with a ball that's much harder than she's accustomed. And I believe, Dave, it's very difficult to transition from a heavier ball to a lighter ball, but much more difficult to go from a lighter ball to a heavier ball. It really comes off your hand differently, and it actually hurts a little bit because your hands are very sensitive to that lighter ball. And I know, Dave, if we went in and played with a harder ball tomorrow, we'd probably get bone bruises just because our hands aren't used to it.
I agree with you, and then you couple in the fact that Aisling Reilly has a upper shoulder / bicep issue. It makes it probably even more difficult. And a hand air right there from Tracy Davis, with a point now being awarded to Aisling Reilly. But you have a shoulder problem. When you go from a light ball to a harder ball, it hurts your shoulders. Whether or not it's really true or not that you feel the pain in your brain, if you have a shoulder problem, you feel it before it even develops. And there's another point for Aisling Reilly, our world champion. We're all together at 7 here. Wow. There's a lot of power right there from Tracy Davis that forces that hand air from Aisling Reilly.
You know, Dave, Tracy is such a sweet person, and she's so classy both on and off the court, but don't let that fool you, Dave. She is an unbelievably fierce competitor. I mean, she takes this very, very seriously. That's evidence, Dave, not only in her preparation, but also in the results. I mean, this is a woman that's won over 50 open national and world championships combined, both in singles and doubles, 1-wall, 3-wall, and 4-wall. And Dave, you know, Tracy going into the court before this match, normally, Dave, she's very open, she's very happy to talk, but she got in that court, Dave, with tunnel vision. Of course, I kept talking, but she wasn't hearing me. She's very serious for this match, Dave.
Are you sure she wasn't just tuning you out like we all do? Tracy Davis getting the side out. 7-7 is the score here. Dave, we
second serve.
might have a picture of your baby up on the live broadcast. It
I
may
say
happen.
hello to my beautiful wife, and there he is, baby Henry. Cutest little boy I've ever seen. I would say hello to my wife and Henry, Dave, but they're not watching.
Aw, well, this is a moment lost then. There's baby Henry.
So
and that little toy over here is what we bought him for his birth.
And I
His first
cannot
birthday.
actually thank you enough for that present. It was truly, and I'm in all seriousness, the best gift I've ever received. Henry's actually growing up on that piano. He's taught himself to turn over, use his feet, and use his hands, all with that toy. And of course, when he gets a little bit colicky, and Dave, that means a little bit upset, crying, put him down on there, and all of a sudden he's just smiling and having the time of his life.
Well, that's one Fink. Now we just need to work on the other ones.
The other one, probably a lost cause, and that's being yours truly.
You see the timeout here. It's first game between Aisling Reilly and Tracy Davis.
All right. Ready? 7, serve 7.
We're all together at 7 with Tracy Davis serving to Aisling. Tracy, formerly of Brooklyn, New York, now living in Tucson, Arizona, making a hand air there. Really regarded as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, 1-wall players of all time. Trying to make the transition to 4-wall. She's done a great job. She still has holes in her game. She realizes that her back wall game is not where it should be. But she does, if you were to say who are the hardest strikers in the game, talking to Aisling Reilly, she told me that she felt Tracy Davis was the hardest hitter in handball. And that's coming from probably the hardest hitter in handball in Aisling Reilly.
Dave, Aisling does not receive enough credit for her athleticism and her fitness. I mean, if you're standing next to her, Dave, she is a specimen. She's just unbelievably fit and solid. This is a woman, Dave, that literally gets up before work at 5:30 a.m. and puts in an hour and a half of probably one of the most difficult, high-intense, high heart rate workouts you could ever imagine, and then does the same thing after work. And I think, Dave, her reaction after winning that world championship singles showed it all. You don't have a reaction like that, Dave, unless you put in thousands and thousands of hours of preparation and it all comes together.
I agree with you.
And now, Dave, it's Aisling Reilly who seems to be getting in her groove here and pulling away.
Well, she's had some great corner kill success. And look at that shot around the revolving door.
Absolutely amazing. You know, Dave, you talked a lot about Tracy Davis. I believe, Dave, if you look at the overall landscape of women's handball, that Tracy Davis very well could be the most well-rounded, the best all-around player in the game if you combine all codes of handball, including big ball, which Tracy plays very well. Tracy's a former 3-wall national champion, a 1-wall national and world champion, a women's classic winner, a semifinalist at the World Championships and at the U.S. Open.
Finalist of the 4-wall national doubles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her 1-wall game speaks for itself. She also won the big ball 3-wall double world championships this year. So she has excelled on all avenues, but her holes in her game are off the back wall with her side hand, mid-level power range, and definitely going above her head with her left. But her strengths are better than a lot of these other players out here, Dave, where her serve is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the rally around the dotted line, she's very dangerous because of that power. She understands the 2-wall pass. She also understands how to hit in and out kill shots.
Well, I'd like to see Tracy prepare her left arm more quickly when she is hitting the ball with her left hand, get her elbow parallel to the floor instead of sort of just dangling her left arm and trying to come under it with a stiff arm scoop, which really doesn't work, particularly off the back wall.
Well, we're seeing a lot of players that do that, Dave. Oh, nice serve.
Probably you and I included, unfortunately. Although, Dave, I think your left may be even better than your right.
I know, and I'm going to go all exclusive left from this point on.
15 serves 9.
I actually feel more comfortable taking a ball with my left, and that's sad business.
Second serve.
Oh, you're the Alan Garner of announcing. Alan Garner also would prefer to take the ball with his left.
16 serves 9.
Serve with your right, do everything else with your left.
Short.
Well, that's Taiwan's strategy, Dave. He's won a world championship doing that.
His name is Tuan, not Taiwan.
Well, that's not how it was told to me. I spoke to Wally Amaro, who I know I'm not saying his name correctly, and I never will. And I apologize for that, but I can't do it. So what can you say? He introduced me to him as Taiwan.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to go with that, actually. I don't know if there's a phonetic pronunciation of Taiwan's name on Facebook, Dave, but
17 serves
perhaps we could have one of our 3 viewers chime in. That's right, we're down to 3 now. Which, Dave, used to bother me until you taught me yesterday. What do numbers mean?
They mean nothing. They mean everything to people that obsess about it and nothing to everybody else in the world.
Well, I think to simplify it, they mean everything and nothing.
Right. Nice defensive shot from Tracy Davis, and then a crack out right there from Ashley Reilly, who's trying to dispatch Tracy before she gets into double digits.
19 serves 9.
Or at home, Dave, you'd say 9-all.
Yeah, back in practice, certainly. I brought that up earlier, saying, you know, in practice we would just say 19-9, or we would say 9-9. Right?
That must be nice to have practice games. I don't have that luxury in Pittsburgh.
And there's a very quick first game there as Ashley Reilly takes care of Tracy Davis 21-9. We'll have more with game 2 coming up next. Stick around at racefor8.com.
At shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay,
Yeah.
here it comes.
Oh, Mom!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. All right, let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
And we are back for game number 2 after Ashleen Reilly defeats Tracy Davis 21-9 in the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball here at Los Cab, Fountain Valley, California. This is the number 2 seed versus the number 3 seed. You're wondering, why does Ashleen Reilly get the number 2 seed? Well, we know that she's the world champion, but she lost last year in the finals to Megan Michilos in her attempt to win the U.S. Open title.
1-0.
Ashleen Reilly trying to take care of this so she can get into the finals. I believe the women receive either $5,000 or $8,000 for first place. I will double check because I now know you're wondering.
3-0.
Women's singles receives $5,000 in first place money. Second place is $3,000, and Tracy Davis, if she were to lose this, would be in a battle against Courtney Pachot for third place for $2,000, which is a nice little paycheck, certainly.
6-0.
6-0 the score here as Ashleen Reilly is now doing what she does, and that is stand in one spot and score points. Tracy gives a nice return there, but unfortunately, Ashley puts it in a perfect spot, and Tracy's unable to get that back to the front wall. Point scored now for Aisling Reilly.
8-0.
Aisling from the St. Paul GAC near Belfast in the northern part of Ireland.
0-8.
She's our current world champion. And when she won her title against Fiona Shannon in the tiebreaker just 10 days ago or so, at the time it was one of the greatest victories I've ever seen in my life, greatest sports memory of my entire life. And then within 1 hour, Paul Brady came from that amazing comeback victory to defeat Luis Moreno, and that became my favorite sports memory of all time. It's nice to see that happen at the World Championships at 9-0 now. And you can see that Aisling Reilly is working pretty fast here. Wow, amazing play here from Aisling Reilly now at 10-0. And no timeout called from Tracy Davis.
10-0.
And there's a side out.
0-10. Now. 10-0.
Aisling Reilly just playing remarkable. This is sort of the clamp down Reilly, who is just hitting the ball so hard right now, crushing it.
So I take a 5-minute meeting, and I miss 11 points.
Yeah, you left for 5 minutes, and Aisling has just done some of the most remarkable power serves. I mean, just unbelievable, Dave.
12-0.
They got off to such a good start. She led 7-2. She lost the first game 21-10, which means she was outscored 19-3 at the end of that first game, and now she's being outscored 13-0. That means, Dave, and I know that we like to do this, she's been outscored 32-3 in the last 35 points scored.
Not liking the way that sounds. Nice shot from Tracy, and Tracy's going to do it again. This time go with an underhand. Tracy's upset with herself, and she should be.
Look at that inside-out back wall kill as Aisling just freezes Tracy.
But
Tracy has to respect the shot down the left.
What was Tracy doing with that power paddle?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Dave, generally that shot works particularly in the women's game, throwing the ball up high, but Aisling has that Irish whip, the ability to step into the left side wall and play that incredible Irish whip. Now, Dave, does Aisling go for the shutout here?
Yes.
Is that something she's thinking about?
I think so.
Okay.
And you can tell with her body English when she was up about 5-0 that she was going to try to put a 0 on Tracy. She's in clampdown mode right now, and we saw this just rarely in a quarterfinal match at the World Championships where she decided that she just wanted to win. And she just went on and scored 7 points in about 20 seconds. And you can see that Aisling is actually going to try to put a 0 on America's number 2 or 3 best player. Probably number 2.
Well, Dave, when I was younger and better, I used to try and put 0s on people. Now I try to avoid getting 0. So that's kind of the transition you make into your mid-30s. You go from trying to put on the 0 to avoiding the 0.
Well, I've tried to avoid a athletic club. That's what happens when you're in your 40s.
Okay.
I also try to avoid paying taxes and avoid allowing my wife to see how to access my cell phone password. So,
has your wife ever seen you with your shirt off?
No. No. Tracy's actually given herself a high five for scoring a point.
16.
I actually hired a replacement husband who comes in for those things.
A body double. That's smart, Ashley.
His name is Andy Nett. That guy's the best-looking guy I've ever seen in my life. Why am I giggling?
Well, I have to say, Dave, Andy Nett and I were in the locker room yesterday. And
I bet you that was awkward for you.
Well, he transformed his body, Dave, from a guy that was kind of that athletic, flexible type looking mold, and now he's just has zero body fat on him with a lot of muscle. It's frightening, actually.
16-1.
You know, his agent, Dave, told him, you know, we're getting a lot of work here modeling suits and, you know, sweaters, but if you're able to do some swimwear modeling, you know, we're going to double or triple our portfolio. So what Andy Nett did, Dave, was got himself to the gym and actually started pumping iron, cut out any kind of fast food or beer, and now, Dave, he just is a fitness fanatic. He is a machine.
1 serve 16.
He said, you know, I don't know if it helps my handball game, but my girlfriend likes it. So does his bank account.
Timeout.
That's a smart timeout. During that 16-0 run, Tracy takes no timeouts. That's not following traditional handball right there. You see the ladies here trying to exit the court, but unable to do that with that court being locked. There's that image of Aisling Reilly after she won the World Championship. Remember that moment, Dave, when she put her hands up in the air, and look at the crowd in the background, which is kind of out of focus there. But, you know, you and I are sitting over to the left here, and I was pounding my heart saying I'm actually choked up. I was actually getting a tear in my eye. The next day we were talking about it, and I was on camera with Aiden Power for TG Carhar, and I actually almost started crying. That's how the feeling felt at the moment when we saw that celebration. I've never seen anything like it. Someone said to me, the World Championships, where do you rank that in you know, the drama? And I said, Kirk Gibson hitting the home run, Muhammad Ali with the pose.
But you don't even know who he posed against.
Huh?
I mean, if you could tell me who he posed against and who he knocked out with that punch, then maybe I could concede that. It was actually Sonny Liston.
Sonny Liston, yeah, that was Liston.
That was in their rematch that took place in Maine.
Yeah, that was Sonny Liston.
After Muhammad Ali had knocked him out in 7 rounds.
Yeah, but still
8 rounds in Miami, just 7 months previous.
Carlton Fisk trying to force the baseball to stay fair.
Yeah.
Those moments where you see some amazing things happen. When Brett Favre was throwing all those touchdown passes against his father, when his father passed away there,
18 serves 1.
When Brett Favre's father passed away the night before, and
that was actually on Monday Night Football against the Oakland Raiders.
That was another great moment. That was another great moment. And so when someone says, where does that rank when Aisling Reilly won that? It's right there. I mean, I felt so emotional for her, and it was really because of that celebration.
Second serve.
I'll tell you, Dave, when Andy Murray won the Olympics this summer in front of his home crowd after all the disappointments, and he beat Roger Federer, who happens to be my favorite athlete, but it was just an incredible moment, Dave. I would also put Tiger Woods forcing the playoff against Rocco Mediate in 2008 in Kansas City. I watched that tournament, Dave, in the locker room of the Kansas City club there. Everyone was naked except for me, which is always
18 serves 1.
really comfortable.
Short.
Well, the way our recent conversations are, it sounds like it probably was comfortable for you.
Well played.
They left.
I bet you it was more comfortable than you know.
Maybe a little too far, but still.
But that's, you know, that feeling of seeing the champion Aisling Reilly put her hands up in the air like that. Unbelievable.
Well, it was just a combination, Dave, of exhilaration, accomplishment, relief.
1 serves 18.
Pride in herself, and you saw it all on her face. And the best part about that celebration, Dave, was initially she gave the two-fisted fist pump, and then extended it, Dave, over her head. And when she did that, that's when you really started getting those goosebumps.
But then when she jumped up in the air, up in the air, up in the air again, that was just unbelievable. And then she hugged Fiona Shannon. Then she walked to the back wall and gave that Hulk Hogan flex to the group that was watching her in the front row. And that, to me, was the part that it was like, that was what I loved. I mean, I loved when she jumped up in the air, but it was really a great celebration. And really, you didn't even have to know anything about handball just to love what you saw there at City West.
Match point, there's one.
And here we are at match point with Aisling Reilly just destroying Tracy Davis here. And Tracy's just wanting this to get over with. And that's how you do it when you want something to get over with. You just hit a little corner kill like that, little soft paddle.
Well, if you're Charlie Shanks and you want to get it over with, you hit a serve a half an inch high off the front wall that somehow makes it over the short line.
Eventually, it's appealed. One line judge sees it right, the other one doesn't see it right. The guy that appealed it totally has his head in Mars. So yeah, you're right. I like how Aisling gets out of the way immediately because she knows that she put it in a good position. Instead of getting that screen call from the referee, she actually jumps out immediately, so there is no question.
20 serves 2.
Score here is 20-2 in game number 2. We have a great match coming up here in the men's doubles. We'll talk about that as Aisling Reilly takes down Tracy Davis in 2 straight. We'll have more action from the show court here as we get ready for a great matchup in doubles, Dave. Nadi Alvarado Jr. and Toddy Severa up against Desi Keegan and Joe McCann. That actually could be a final. We'll have more action at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 45 minutes from right now. We want you to stick around, though. We'll have that handball streaming live here at racefor8.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
to be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.